We're going to be talking about House Bill 470, which has not been voted on, and also its predecessor and original bill, House Bill 505, and how that started. What y'all might not know is that we have current litigation for House Bill 505, the original bill. This is our attorney, Frank Miller. He's a legislative attorney, a highly specialized attorney. House Bill 505 is from 2024. When they're talking about the new registered adult peer support, that you have to get more hours and you have to do this and you have to register there and you have to get a supervisor here, and all of these kind of catch-22 types of requirements where there was supposed to be a January 1st cutoff, that's House Bill 505.
Last bill for consideration is House Bill 505. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, Kim Moser, State Representative for the 64th District. What House Bill 505 does, and we can elaborate. Do you have any other news on the committee sub?
Oh yeah, this is Jessica Burke. I'm the Chief Legal Officer for Addiction Recovery Care. Basically, the sub allows for a ramp-up time, so any new peer support specialist would have to meet the requirements of the original bill immediately. Existing peer support specialists would have until January 1st, 2026 to give them time to meet those requirements.
You see why I have her next to me. Would you like to introduce yourself since we're sitting here?
Yeah, I'm Aaron Smallwood, Clinical Services Director for StepWorks Recovery Centers in Kentucky.
Welcome.
Thank you. All right. So House Bill 505 is really deals with peer support specialists. We know that they are an important category of drug and alcohol counselor who have lived experience, and they're able to and very valuable to this population of people who are seeking treatment for their substance use disorder. What this bill does is strengthens the peer support specialist program by adding eligibility standards and criteria. It moves peer support specialists to under the Alcohol and Drug Counselor Board. Right now, there's no oversight, and we definitely need oversight of this category.
Motion on the bill.
Motion second on the bill. Any questions, comments? There being none, Becky, please call the roll.
I explain my yes vote.
Please.
Desperately need oversight. Desperately need oversight. This is an excellent bill. Thank you.
And again, the vote is 9-0. House Bill 505 is amended past favorable expression. There is a motion for consent. In a second, all those in favor vote aye. All opposed.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. This is wonderful. Yeah, I really appreciate all of your help.
We did an open records request on who did Medicaid billing during that period of time. And what do you know? The organizations involved in these advocacy groups were still billing. And the reason why they were still billing is because they know they could. Meaning, for people that weren't in the know, that weren't connected through all this backroom deal, laid off people, adjusted their program, all of that kind of stuff. All right, that came from what's called an open records request. An open records request is how you can find out the communications between like the cabinet and all of this kind of stuff. And because we're in litigation, we did a lot of it. And unfortunately, we found out some pretty squirrely things.
And I'll just point this out to everyone. You do have a list of all the 13 agencies and organizations who support this and have worked on this. So thank you so much.
When y'all read the letter we sent to the commission, the top of that letter says something very significant.
The first screening note was DMS, Department for Medicaid Services, says ARC is working with sponsor.
And if you don't know who ARC is, it's Addiction Recovery Care. And if you haven't heard, they've had their door kicked down by the FBI.
The behavioral health service organizations and BHSO multi-specialty groups, this does not require them to hire anyone, but it just says if they hire a peer for substance use treatment, that they should be registered. There's no requirement that they absolutely hire this person.
I just want to make sure, because I'm hearing some conflicts in the testimony. And when I'm reading this, it does appear that we're saying they are these agencies, and we've included the behavioral health multi-specialty groups or any entity that bills for peer support services only employ. So it does sound like there is a requirement to hire these individuals. So I just, like I said, I'm trying to keep up with the process and the acronyms and just to make sure that we're doing everything we can to help some vulnerable people in some really bad situations.
So it says, and thank you for pointing that out, and I'm happy to try to clarify it, only employ an alcohol and drug peer support specialist who is registered. So they can still, they could employ someone now and they just wouldn't be Medicaid reimbursable. But this is reverting back to the pre-House Bill 505.
Yeah, just to clarify, all this is already done. This happened 2 years ago in House Bill 505, so that's already in statute.
Gosh, where to start? We have worked with the cabinet throughout the summer. They have been at the table providing information. We've worked with every stakeholder, including Grin Grant. I've had some meetings with them, and then she decided not to work with us, which is fine, but took their own path. And so I guess I would just say we have worked with everyone to try to understand what we need to do right now to fix this problem.
Would you all speak to the cost of the training for the peers? I've heard that it was $75, but now it's up to $600, and it's really difficult for folks in recovery to pay that amount. Plus, then they have to pay for a test, so they're having trouble getting employed when the cost has gone up so much.
Our training at Lane 13, our training is $175 for 16 CEUs. And that's the only training that we've ever provided to peer support. And I think that if you look at all kinds of different degrees and credentials, people have to have a little skin in the game when it comes to training and credentialing.
In August of 2025, I had one meeting with Kimberly Moser, not having any idea what I was walking into. All right. Now, have y'all ever known, do y'all know kind of like women who seem one way and they turn on a dime and go bananas? She like that. Okay. So we had one meeting with her. And so she got upset and banned us because we reported to her that a woman named Elena Sweezy with Lane Consulting is marketing a very expensive training program and charging inflated prices and is ridiculing other people online. I stupidly thought she would say, gosh, thank you for telling me this. This is terrible. Let me fix this. Nope, that's not what she did. She said, you're out. To find out, and you will see if you look through Facebook now, Elena Sweezy has scrubbed her Facebook a lot since negative publicity has been coming out on this thing. But if you go to look, I don't know what the arrangement is between those two people, but it's something. Because it doesn't make sense, because it's the same sponsor who's done House Bill 505 from 2024, House Bill 580 from 2025, and now this bill. And regardless of how whatever embarrassing things are connected to it, Moser keeps plowing on with Elena Sweezy. So like I said, I don't know what's up, but something's up. Something's clearly up.
what I was trying to figure out in reading this, so the work group, I'm just trying to get clarification. The work group is not appointed. Is that correct?
Yeah, we went back and forth about how to establish that within the cabinet, and just decided that having a group of experts who can come together and really impart their ideas about the organization or the organizational structure of overseeing.
Kimberly Moser is a very powerful woman. She is the head chair of the House Health Committee. Here's what that means, and trust me, I've learned it too. I didn't pay attention to social studies. I didn't know anything about government until this started happening. So, anytime you have a bill or a lawmaker wants to get a bill filed and get looked at that has anything to do with health, she decides thumbs up or thumbs down if this thing is going to get heard. Okay? Can you imagine the kind of power that would give you?
There's peer support, but there's also CSAs, community health workers. So there's other paraprofessionals that are really unregulated that we need to really think about.